naghahanap ka ng investment sa property, ano nga ba dapat ang tutukan? Anong pinaka-importanting tutukan para magkaroon tayo ng investment on property?
Miss May, very good question. After 20 years of real estate experience, na-realize natin na ang common problem pala is not the product or the property, is yung capacity to pay. Marami tayong na-experience sa mga kaibigan natin na nadadapa because bumili sila ng property too soon in their journey. Number one advice is may significant ipon tayo bago tayo mag-jump into property. Number two advice naman is yung income source natin, yung kumbaga yung cash flow natin ay kailangan din medyo stable bago tayo mag-jump in.
Minsan pati yung pang down payment inuutang kasi wala talaga. Ayun nga. I-clarify natin yung gaano ba kalaki.
Nung unang panahon, nung panahon ng mga parents natin, they only buy property pag hawak na nila yung pera 100%. But lately, medyo naging masyadong aggressive ang mga kababayan natin. Minsan may 10% lang, nag-jump in na sila. Doon yung mga nadadapa. Okay lang naman yung mga no down payment scheme, but ang rule of thumb ko is a conservative amount. At least 50% of the money nasa bangko na natin. Naka-excess na
down payment.
50%. Maybe hindi mo kailangan ibayad in one time, pero at least naipon mo yung 50%.
In general, meron ka nang na-inback na pera, pwede yun, it can be a general purpose fund. Okay, sige. Pwedeng, pag may nagkasakit, pwede mong kunin doon. But at least, meron ka na. At dahil ganoon yung iyong standard, masisigurado mo na whatever happens to you, mawalan ka ng trabaho, yung current negosyo mo,
may pagkukunan,
hindi maiilit yung
property na hinuhulugan mo.
Well, kasi klaro I like it.
Well said, well said. And don't forget yung pangalawa natin, Miss Salve.
Pangalawa?
Yung cash flow, income, dapat tuloy-tuloy din.
So, pwedeng yung kalahati nung 1 million mo ay pinapagulong mo yung 1/4 o ininvest mo sa negosyo para doon may panghulog ka? Ganun ba? Hindi.
Yes and no. Kasi ideally, the money is just in the bank. Parang safe siya. Liquid siya. Yun yung 50%. Pag ninegosyo natin, medyo wag na tayo mag-double invest. Kasi nilagay mo na sa negosyo, naka-risk na yon, ayoko nang mag-double risk ka.
Kung yung overall na savings mo ay kalahati na nung total price ng property, medyo safe ka na kumuha ng, kahit i-loan mo pa yan, medyo safe ka na. Kasi ibig sabihin, hindi maiilit yung property in case something terrible happens in your life.
Kung gusto natin yumaman, for me, active income is the best. Yung trabahuin mo, mag-side hustle ka, Carlo Ople, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. Ang purpose kasi ng property for me, para conservative tayo, is meron ka ng pera. Nandyan na yung pera, gusto mo na lang siya mag-work for you, katabi mo, kasabayan mo. May lumalapit sa akin, Sir Carl, gipit kami ngayon. Anong property ang pwede ko bilhin para yumaman? Yan ang medyo delikado. It's supposedly na may pera ka na, gusto mo lang siya ipag-grow. Anong diskarte pag wala tayong pera pa? Okay, meron akong 3 ibibigay sa inyo. Number 1, kung nakatira kayo sa isang bahay at may extra room na wala nang gumagamit, diba? Kung yan, naging tambakan na lang, madumi, that's the number 1 opportunity. Linisin natin yung kwarto, i-repaint, paupa sa bed space.
Iparenta.
Yun. Kung meron tayong garahe at may kotse naman, okay lang, may allowance pa rin yan. What if yung property ninyo o yung nire-rent nyo ngayon ay daanan ng tao papunta sa sakayan ng jeep, sakayan ng bus, papunta sa isang palengke, papunta sa isang major business district, daanan? Paupa natin yan sa mga gusto mag-open ng food cart. Diba? It can be 200 pesos a day.
Mahalo na yun,
May magtayo ng fishball, magtayo na nagbebenta ng whatever, nagbebenta ng payong, nagbebenta ng kung ano-ano. Meron ka ng 200 pesos a day of passive income. That will cover your meal for the day. That's the second one. Pangatlo ay discarding serbisyo, service. Diba? Kunwari, meron tayong mga kamag-anak o mga tita like si Miss May na mayayaman, na maraming ari-arian. May mga condo sila na walang nagmamanage, na papabayaan. Pwede ko lumapit, Tita May, yung condo natin na walang nag-rent. Pwede ba ako na lang mag-manage?
Pag Airbnb mo, mas malaki ang kita sa Airbnb kaysa sa
Airbnb ka, kailangan mo nang nagmamanage kasi para magkaroon ka ng yung rating nila na sobrang taas, kailangan prepared yung pagdating maayos yung mga tissue. Ako yung tissue ginagawa ko pa may pa-triangle.
When the words passive income is mentioned, what comes to your mind?
So passive income basically you have assets that are working hard for you, even if you're not doing anything anymore. It's those assets that's providing cash flow for you. By the way, when I say assets, hindi lang siya assets na tangible or hindi lang din siya assets na digital. It can also be assets brought about by your intellect. So royalties from a book, they're all also passive.
Just like any business, maraming variation. Sa property, ganun din, no? There are many ways to earn from it. One is through flipping. Bilhin mo ngayon, you sell it after 30 years. Fixer-upper involves a certain amount of labor. Kumbaga sa cooking, you buy arena, you sell it as arena, that's trading, di ba? You buy it and you sell it. Fixer-upper, gusto mo gawing cake yung binili mo. It's not super passive. Two things, you have to actively work on it, and it's a one-time deal. Pag nabenta mo na, ulit ka na naman.
You buy something, hold it for 30 years. Is that still considered flipping kung hinawakan mo ng 30 years?
A 1-year, 2-year flip is a bonus. In your whole lifetime, you can do it once in a while, jackpot, happy ka. But what you want to program is yung consistency. And alam mo naman, Marvin, marami nagsasabi na consistency is the key. Siguro the passive income has to be further redefined. Na passive income, let's say from a property point of view, it's not totally automatic na wala kang gagawin and you make what, 6%, 8% return na wala kang gagawin. But in fairness, there's 365 days a year. You work on your condo for maybe a few weeks in a month. You get a good tenant. Like kanina, may kausap lang ako sa phone. Tenant niya, Honda Philippines. It's been, 6 years?
Is it good to put 50% of your salary in STE for passive income? What's your view on for the long run, sir?
If you haven't lost money yet, no? Ngayon ka lang papasok, you can. You have to at least give it a try. Because you haven't lost money yet. Okay lang, you take the risk. Malay mo, di ba? Ito na yung the bull run that the bulls have been waiting for. Diba? But it's definitely something uncertain. Yung cash position mo will be the most important for me. I have an audience before who asked me, Sir Carl, we are struggling financially ngayon. What condo can I buy para yumaman ako? So may konting mali dun sa purpose. If you are struggling financially and you want to make money, you go active income. Magsipag ka, magtrabaho ka, magtinda ka. Not to buy a condo and hope na maka-jackpot ka. Ang condo kasi and ang property, first, you have to at least be financially in excess. If you want to buy a condo, sobrang dami nun. The condo has to solve a problem. There has to be a market segment. If nakita mo maraming Japanese doon sa area, then you can open a Japanese restaurant. Kasi alam mong may market. What you don't want to do is, let's say, you have a Japanese market and then you open a Filipino restaurant. Kasi baka hindi nila type naman. So something like that. Kailangan may market segment na naghahanap ng residents. A contract does not need to be malalim na English or whatever na paikot-ikot na words. It can be as simple as a Tagalog. Huwag mong gagawin to. Huwag mong gagawin to. Kung ginawa mo to, this is the penalty. Kung di ka nagbayad, may penalty ka, gano'n. So, a contract is really just putting into paper what you've discussed so that down the road, pag nagka-problem, you have a manual. Meron kang babalikan on what to do.